To stamping because we've got some coloring that we need to do as well. We're going to be using the blends. And let's see. We're just using 3 stamps. So I've got the trick or treat, I've got the cat, and I got the frog. And since we're using blends, I'm using Memento black ink. Even though it's a red rubber stamp, if you want to use the blends, which are alcohol based, you have to use an ink that is water based. And this has been re-inked fairly recent. It's very juicy. So let's see if I can't get a good image without it smearing. Oh, that's super cute. Okay, and I just got black ink. Look, that didn't take long. And I'm already covered. I had barely even stamped. And I'm just, you know what, I got my simple chamois right here. I'm just gonna rub my finger off on that. It works, right? Okay, so then now let's get the frog. Let's put him up here. Because both of these are gonna be, we're gonna be able to die cut those. Perfect. And then the trick or treat is actually gonna go on the circle that we're gonna punch out. So I'm gonna put it over here. And let's see. I know I didn't tell you all the sizes of the circle. Let's see, so we're using the Starburst punch. I told you it was number 4 of the scallop circles. And then I'm also using the 1 3/4 inch. Okay, so that's all the stamping. Quick, right? It's super cute, but these things, I'm producing a lot of them, and so they've got to be super quick for me. They can't be too involved and too intricate. It's just, yeah, when you're making 20 or 30 of something, yeah. Okay, so I don't think that I've ever done the blends on the live before. So I'm going to warn you, I am not a professional at coloring. I am learning more and more every day each time that I use them. And I've picked up a couple of little tips here and there. I'd be glad to share them with you guys. I don't know if they'll be helpful to you. This is just what has kind of helped me. So what I like to do is I start with the darker of the colors. So we have combo packs. So this is light smoky slate and dark smoky slate. And so what's nice about it is you can buy them together, but then you can buy them separate. So when I made those animal cracker tags with the rhinoceros, I did it for a swap or a training event, I don't remember. I ended up having to buy another of the light smoky slate. So it was nice that I didn't have to buy them both because I didn't need a refill of this. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So what I like to do is I start with the darker one. They've got 2 tips. So here's they're just like our markers with 2 tips. So there's the bullet end, that's the thinner line, and then the thicker line is the brush tip, yeah, which is what I'm going to use right now. They're square, so they're meant to like not roll off your table, and I find that if I put the lid on like that, I'm less likely to use it. Okay, you would think that I'm more likely to put it back on, except for I walked out here this morning after stamping last night, and I left one of my marker caps off all night. It seems to be okay, but wow, I'm lucky. I mean, these are alcohol based. They dry really fast. So I'm just gonna go very lightly around this edge here. And I'm not an art student, or, you know, it talks about the light source. Well, what way is the light coming in? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of outline it like we did when we were kids. Remember, you took the crayons and you outlined it in the dark, and then you went and, well, you actually had to push harder to get it to be the dark. And then we filled it in with, you know, just the crayon without pushing so dark. Anyway, this is really super skitty, so hang on a second. I gotta stick my tongue out or straight. Well, I went out of the line. Let me see if I can show you what our color lifter does. That's a really tiny space. Maybe it just really wasn't that necessary. Maybe I'm using the wrong tip. I don't know. But this is the color lifter. Again, it's got the same 2 sides. It's more of a color, I like to refer to it as a color mover. And so, see right here where I've gone outside? I don't even know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can, a little bit. It's right there. Anyway, so what you want to do is don't go right on top of the ink that you've gone outside the line. Go just below it. And that alcohol is going to get into that paper, and it's going to start to push that ink in the opposite direction. Rather than trying to get right up on that ink, doesn't work as well. And I'm not even really sure if you guys can see that, but it just moved that ink back up to where it's not, you can see where the paper's still kind of wet a little bit. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's super cute. Okay, so now I'm gonna come in with my light smoky slate, and I am just gonna go in itty bitty circles. First I'm gonna go around her little eyes and her nose because I wanna color her nose color. And then I'm just filling this in. In larger sections, you know, I really like to kind of just do little circles. This is pretty small, so I'm not really able to. I'm gonna put some right there. And then the only thing that I've really been able to, that's been able to help me is that I had then, instead of trying to blend and people will color right over that dark line, it never works out for me. I don't know how they do it. So I just go back over it again, just in the areas where I had done it before. I'm not gonna do the tail again. And then I come back in with that light again. And that seems to get a nice blended look that I'm happy with. So I don't know if that helps you or not, but that's how I do it. And then I'm not gonna go over her little belly again because I want that to be lighter. So yeah, quick and simple, right? I'm gonna bring in, because we have Petal Pink in the Stamping Blends, but I don't have it yet. So I'm using Light Calypso Coral. I'm gonna use the smallest. And this is just a smidge inside her ears, you know, just a little color. And I wanted to put it in her nose, but it looks like my ink ran in there, so she got a gray nose, but that's okay. All right, and then for the little froggy, I'm gonna use dark and light Granny Apple Green. And you know what, I'm gonna use, let me try the bullet point here. Oh, thanks Ada K. Let me see. So again, I'm just kind of laying a little bit of color down here around some of the edges, maybe right there. And then I'll go in with that bullet point again and kind of just fill in that part of it. And you can really see the two different colors, right? You can see the dark and the light, and it doesn't look real good, right? So now I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna go back over, and I'm trying to do the little circular motion now. I know it's itty bitty, but you can do it, okay? So going back over that dark, and then when I bring the light back in, I mean, I just think it's magic. And it looks like it's all blended. Got your little shadows. And you know what? I meant to do his little belly in yellow, so let's see if I can't add a little bit of yellow in here. I meant to do this yellow. Let's see, we're just gonna end up with a funky green color here, but that's okay. Frogs are funky, right? They're cute on paper and as stamps, but yeah, ugh, that's it. Okay, that's it. Make sure you close markers up. Okay, we're done with those. And I hand a scratch piece of paper that I was gonna stick under there because they do bleed through, but it's not on my work surface, so we're okay. And this, my grid paper, it's disposable anyway. Okay, I think that we're gonna, let me go ahead and die cut now, and then we're gonna score and put our box, I don't know if to call it a box or a bag. You'll have to tell me what you think it is. Is it a box or is it a bag? Because it's a box for the part where you put the candy in, but the top of it comes together like it's a bag. So I don't know. You guys will have to tell me what you think. So I've got my Big Shot, I've got my magnetic platform, one cutting pad. I'm putting my, with the frog, if you put the word where you can read the word Sizzix and the item number at the top of the frog is how that goes on. Yeah, just like that. And it's super cute. Okay, and then if you've been watching me for a little bit, you know that I turn my dies upside down because it'll save you on your plates. I've been using this plate since we started Facebook Live back in July, and I mean, look at it. It's amazing, right? Now, the one that I'm gonna bring and put on top of it, not so much, because four things were missing today when I came to do Facebook Live. My background paper that I put on my table, gone, can't find it. My catalog, can't find it. And the other plate that goes with this one, can't find it. What was the fourth one? I don't even remember now. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's like, okay, well, I guess we're doing it this way. So, whatever works, right? Let me put these back before I lose them. My little magnet thingy over here. Okay. This one, we're gonna use the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm gonna make it go, I'm gonna like left justify, center it onto the left, not quite all the way to the left. You just want enough to where your little cat's gonna fit on there too, like that. So that looks good. So, let me go, okay. All right, so we're done with that. I've already used the Starburst. We've already cut that one out. So, let me put this off to the side. I'm gonna bring up the scoreboard, the Simply Scored scoring tool, and we're gonna get this scored and put together. And the cool thing about this box or bag is there's no cutting and there's no adhesive holding it together. So, okay, so again, so this is 4 by 8, and on the 4-inch side, we're gonna score it at 1 inch, and then I'm gonna flip it to the other side and go 1 inch again. So 1 inch on either side, and then on this long side, on the 8-inch side, we're gonna score it at 3 1/4, and rotate it again, and 3 1/4. And you don't wanna press very hard. This is Designer Series paper. You can poke right through it. Okay, that's it. Okay, so we're going to, I'm gonna go ahead and use my bone folder, but just very lightly. I'm not doing a hard score like I would if it was cardstock. Just gently, just to kind of get it to go, you know, to fold the way that you want it, because we're gonna manipulate the paper a little bit with some diagonal folds, and it'll cooperate more if you have reinforced those lines. Okay, so this goes like this, and I hope that I'm able to explain this. I'm gonna do the one side while I'm explaining it, and then I'll show you, and then we'll do the other side together too, okay? So this score line right here, I'm gonna fold it down this way to meet up with this score line, okay? So there's that diagonal fold that we did. I have tried it before where I have gone in and done some partial scoring right here to help, and it's just, it's easy doing it this way, but you could do it that way if you wanted to. But for right now, this is how I'm doing it. And I just put the tip of my bone folder into that, we'll call it a corner. And I'm making sure that I'm putting that score line is matching up exactly with the edge of the box. So see that? So I've just come down, I've put the score line to that score line. Okay? And you're gonna do the same thing over here. Sometimes you can just use your, your fingernail, or I don't have long fingernails, so I'm just gonna put my bone folder there to kind of help guide me. And then make sure that I'm not any overhang there. Okay, and then I like to give it a good crease there too. Okay, so now, let me see, where am I? Here we go. So that's what this one side looks like. So both of these that's created that diagonal score, and it just folds up just like that. Okay, so now we're gonna do the other side the same way. Put my bone folder here, bring this score line down to this score line. What's really great about these two is that you can do all of this part of it, and then because there's no glue or anything, you just fold them flat and store them. So as soon as I got this paper, I knew I wanted to be making this box, and so I I have a bunch of them already ready to go. And I didn't quite get that one. I missed. I went too far over. Okay. There we go. Oops. It's still too far over, darling. Okay. And yeah, I'm being really picky, but you have to be with your 3Ds. If you are, I mean, even sometimes being a 1/16 of an inch off, it'll make your project not go together. You'll have ragged ends, or, you know, things just won't meet up the right way. So you really just want to take your time. And once you do a few of these and you're not like on camera trying to teach someone else how to do it, this actually goes really quickly. You get the hang of it. Okay, so then that folds up like that, and that folds up like that. And there you go. See, so it's a bag, right? And it's got a little box. And we're gonna put some Hershey nuggets in there in just a minute. I had to steal them from the first project because that's all I had. Now I'll tell you about the Hershey nuggets. I don't use any candy, chocolate, or anything that has nuts in it at my craft fairs. Just because you don't even want to go there. You don't want to mess with allergies and all kinds of stuff. So I started a long time ago that it didn't matter what show I was doing, I was not going to have nuts. So I do milk chocolate on everything. Occasionally you can find dark chocolate without nuts, but it usually has almonds in it or something, which is my honey's favorite. But yeah, so I do all milk chocolate. Unfortunately, I didn't have any, so I had to borrow. I'll give him back. I had to borrow 4 of his little special dark with almonds Hershey nuggets. Okay, so let's put. I'm gonna put this down with snail. And this gives a really nice border. There we go. Rub it from the back in case you have ink on your hands. That's my reminder that it's the number 4. Okay, and then that's gonna go on in a second. Okay, so for the little kitty, I'm gonna use our mini Stampin' Dimensionals. Some of my tools over here because it's tool time. We're putting stuff together. Okay. So I'm just gonna take one and put it right down here. And then I'm just gonna put one behind her head. And that's it, and that's good enough. It's not going anywhere. Okay, and then the little frog is gonna go with a glue dot. So you're just gonna put the glue dot there. And let's put the kitty cat on first. I just love the little grimace on her face, that little smile. It's so stinking cute. I mean, the Grinch, when he does that little smile, is super cute. That's not creepy or gross, right? But this is kind of that same smile, but it's sweeter. It's a sweet smile. Okay, and I'm just gonna put this right about there. Okay, and then lift that off just like that, and then, oops. Yeah, I do want this to go over just a minute. That's why I didn't smush it down yet. Maybe I should have put the frog on first. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, that's on there. That's okay. We're just gonna put this a little further to the left. They're not ever all gonna be the same, you know, and that's okay. He still looks cute right there, yeah. Now, did I mess her up? No. Okay, so there's the tag. And we're gonna put some silver stars on her in just a minute. Okay, so we're almost done. I know that I'm going over my 30 minutes. I talked for just a few minutes in the beginning, and I knew this was going to take a little longer, so I promise we're almost done. I really try to keep these 30 minutes or under. Be respectful of y'all's time, and you know, I'm on a time schedule. I mean, I'm on a time limit as well. You know, I got work to do. I got a craft show coming up. Okay, so this is an ouch. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to do them separate. So because it's designer paper, it's thinner. You will probably be able to do it. I just don't have the strength in my hands. Okay, so there we go. And see how easy that was to do it with just the one. Maybe you should do it with just the one. You can try it through both. Okay. Oh, let's see. Okay, and it's not exactly perfectly centered, but I'm not taking a ruler to it, so, you know, it's fine. It looks cute. Okay, so I'm gonna put down, I'm gonna use some liquid glue because this is not really a flat surface. It bows a little bit, and so I don't want this coming up. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can't get my glue started. There we go. Get some of our multi-purpose liquid glue down on there. And I think I'm gonna have it go about, ooh, I don't know. I don't know about the black. I kind of like it. Okay, I'm gonna let that kind of chill out for a second. Okay. And let's see if I can get, oh, we'll have to add that on in a second. Okay, that's gotta be good and dry, right? Okay. It's easier to put the candy in before you put the ribbon on. So this is gonna fit 4 Hershey Nuggets, just like that. And, oops, that's the wrong way. They go to the inside. Yeah. Oh, well, that would be a whole nother different shape for this box. What would that look like? Sorry, lane swerve. I folded it up wrong and I thought, I'll have to play with that. These go onto the inside, okay? All right, and I have a, let me see how long this is. I think it's it's about 5.5 inches of the glittered organdy ribbon, and I'm just gonna pull it through my hole. Okay, and then I'm gonna let my fancy tweezers help me hold things together while I get, actually, you know what? I'm gonna use one of our library clips. I'm just gonna kind of hold that together, and I'm just catching the ribbon on there. I just want it to stay put for a second so I can get this baker's twine around here. This is our solid baker's twine. So I'm going to tie this in a knot first, and I like for it to scrunch up towards the back. And I've got my ribbon way too long. Okay, and then we're just going to tie a little bow to secure that. And this is another reason why you leave your ribbon or your twine on the roll until you're done. That way you don't waste any. I'm gonna have to clip this a little bit, but it'll be okay. And then I just messed that up. Okay, let's do this again. And remember the secret with baker's twine, to not get it all raveled and twisted up, mainly when you've got that foil running through it, is to not tie it tight when you first pull it. Wait until you've got it to be the size, kind of holding that knot as you're doing it, and then you can pull it tight, and it's not gonna twist up on you. And I'm sorry, but I don't like that. Hang on. Let me do it the other way. Third time's the charm. Oh yeah, much better. I wanted it going side to side, not, you know, all cattywampus. Okay. Make their tails even here. The black organdy ribbon is the star of the show, so this is just a little bow, just to hold it together. And I could, you know what? I gotta stop. I could mess with that all day. Okay, and so then I'm just gonna pull my ends together, snip those off. We're done with that. Oh, and you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to add the little jump ring. Oh my gosh, I'm already like 12 minutes over. Should I add the spider or not add the spider? Y'all want to hang out for a few more minutes while I try to add that spider? Y'all tell me if you've got the time. Meanwhile, I'm just going to get some dimensionals. And again, for my 3D projects that I know that are going to craft fair, I use quite a bit of adhesive than I, normally I would probably just do one, like right in the middle, but it's gonna be handled. They're not gonna be in a separate little cello bag or anything, and so I just don't want anything coming off. Okay, so then this is just gonna go centered right here. And that is the project, minus the little spider trinket. So maybe I will just, let's trim that. I'll add it later. Okay, Terry Lynn. All right, so Terry Lynn says she's got the time. And for those of you that, you've got to go, I understand, and I'm sorry that I went over, but I'm going to add the little spider trinket. So if you have to go, just come back later and skip ahead to the end of the video and you can see what it looks like. Or there'll be pictures of it on the blog too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to untie one more time. And all I'm going to do is, so I've done that in a knot, right? And then I'm just going to put this on here. Yep. And then we're going to come around through the front. I don't know if I could get at the right angle to show you how I'm tying this bow and still be able to do it. Let me see if I can hold it like that. Pulling those ends till I get it. Hey, that's about exactly what it was, right? Okay, and then I'm just gonna sniff those. Oh, hey, Kate, you're sweet, thank you. She says it's too stinking cute not to finish, so I love it. Yay. Okay, I'm not sure about the trinket. I mean, I think it's cute, but I think that I've got, it is for craft fair, and I'm making a lot of these. And let me see, you get, how many do you get? Okay, I've got glasses on. How many? Is it on the front? Did I miss it? Oh, duh. 12. I don't know. I could make 20 of them and I'd have to buy another packet. So I don't know. I might find a different project that I'm going to use those on. But I like it with the little trinket. I think he's cute, but I think I like it either way. So you guys will have to tell me what you think. The other thing that I changed to also is my sample that I made prior. Oh, I forgot to put we're going to put the sequins on real quick. I cut the starburst circle out of basic gray, and here I've used the new black foil. So which one do you like better? Y'all tell me while I'm going to add just a couple of these, 3 of these little stars here. Let's see. I'm going to go up there. Off to the side. And then I'll put one down here. Okay, so there it is. That's what it looks like from the side. Now you could, like when I make my Hershey nugget packs that I put in the cello bag, the clear bag, you see them, I do, I take 1 by 3 inch strips of coordinating cardstock, or I'm sorry, designer series paper, and I just wrap them around. And so you could finish this off like this. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish these off. I haven't quite decided. Plus, I didn't want to wrap these because then I got to take them apart because I have to put them back in Andy's candy bag. So, all right. Well, so there it is. Oh, anybody have any questions about anything? If you missed the beginning of my video, go back and watch just a couple of things. I talk about, what did I talk about at the beginning? Oh, dear Lord. Yes, Linda, I can do the paper size. Yeah. So this was, it was 4 inches by, I think I have another one that's cut. Hang on. It was the designer series paper was 4 by 8. Let me see. I thought I had, here it is. Because I was going to do one in the purple and then I didn't. I haven't done it yet, but I will. Okay, yeah. So the, the DSP is 4 inches by 8 inches, and you're gonna score it at 1 inch on either side, the long way, and then you're gonna turn it this way and you score at 3 1/4 inch this way, and then 3 1/4 inch this way. And the reason that I do that instead of, so I say like 1 inch on both sides, because if I do this at 1 inch and then I'm off a smidge, or it's a crooked cut, or you know, for any reason, if I go down to 3 inches, that might not be a full inch. Does that make sense? So in order for me to make it to where, you know, if I was a smidge off or something was cut crooked, or, you know, that both of those panels would still be 1 inch, and it's going to make your box go together better. I try to be really, really accurate when I'm cutting and scoring, and then of course cutting, you know, on the lines and all of that. It's really important. So again, when I turned it over, I did 3 1/4 inches on both sides. Rather than coming down to 6 1/2, I did 3 1/4 inch, and then I turned it and I did 3 1/4 inch. And so that way I was guaranteed that I had the exact measurement right here, which I believe was 1 1/2. Yeah, because the nuggets are 1 1/2 inches deep. And so I knew that I want, that's how I start designing boxes and stuff like that. Terry Lynn, I'm going to sell these for $2 at the craft fair. I've done 4 nuggets before in lots of different containers, and they sell really well at 2. If you wanted to do a 6 nuggets, you could probably go up to 3 and you would be okay. But that's another reason why I probably won't put that little trinket on there, because I'm trying to keep my costs down low, because I am going to only sell these for $2. So a lot of times I pick out the candy, and I do I design the project around whatever those are. So I just took out the nugget. I don't know if, is this going to be off screen? Yeah, it's going to be off screen. So I just measured it, and it's 1 1/2 that way, and it's 1 inch this way. So I needed something that was, because I wanted to do, you know, stacks of 2, so I needed something that was 2 inches across and 1 1/2 inches deep, and then the 2 nuggets, the height is 1 inch. So that's how I've determined where my score lines and the size of the paper and all of that, because I knew that I wanted to have my sides be 1 inch, and then my inside panel that holds the nuggets was 2, right? So, and then I have to do another 1 inch. So 1 plus 2 is 3 plus another 1, so that's 4. So that's how I got with that. And then this piece, I decided, what I did was I folded it in half and got a score line. And I use retired cardstock or even sometimes printer paper when I'm designing. I don't use designer paper. Anyway, so I found the score, I found out where the middle was, and then I went out 3/4 of an inch on either side. And that's what got me to 3 1/4, because the measurement that I needed was 1 1/2. So I did 3/4 on that side and 3/4 on that side, and that's where I got the 3 1/4. So that's kind of how, that's the process of how I design, and I have no idea if that makes any sense to you or not, but that's how I do it. That's how I come up with some of these things. Let's see, any other? Yeah, definitely, the spider increases the cost, so yeah. Linda, I hope that it wasn't too confusing to you. You can also watch back the beginning, and you'll see what I'm talking about the scoring and then turning it and then scoring. I know that I talked about Paper Pumpkin. The deadline for September's kit is the 10th. And I can't believe I forgot to tell you, I'm having another Stampin' Bingo. September 21st here local in San Antonio. And there will be, actually the event went up this morning on my blog and on my Facebook business page, Darlene Stampin' Spot, Facebook/Darlene Stampin' Spot. Well, which is what you're watching on right now. Anyway, so there's an event posted there with all of the details, and it's also on my blog. Oh, sweet. Nice, Linda. That's great. Yeah, good coworker gifts, because you're not out a whole lot of time to make it, and you're not out a whole lot of money. I buy the bigger, the big bags from either like Costco's or Sam's, whatever, wherever I am, of the nuggets, and the price point for those is about it comes out to about 28 cents a piece. So, I mean, even if they were 30 cents, I'm $1.20 in just with my product, with the candy. And so $2, it's not a huge like money maker or anything for me, but it's one of those things that's super cute. It's going to get them in my booth, and they're going to be looking at it, and then they won't be able to help themselves. They'll have to look at all the other cuteness, right? Okay. Oh yeah, Ada K was at bingo. We did have a good time. It was tons of fun. So yeah. All right, you guys, again, I apologize. I went over and then I just like rambled on there at the end. If you have any questions, just let me know. Again, leave a comment, share the video to be entered to win the drawing for next week. And I will see you guys later. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.